In the United States alone, a divorce occurs approximately every 36 seconds. It is a constant, ambient hum in the background of our society. And yet, there is another, far more powerful statistic hiding in plain sight. A statistic that almost no one talks about, but that reveals a fundamental, unbreakable truth about the human operating system. Up to 86% of people who experience the profound trauma of divorce will choose to do it all over again. They will choose to remarry. This is not a story about hope or second chances. This is a strategic deconstruction of a deep, biological imperative. A deep dive into the powerful and often subconscious forces that compel us to return to the very institution that may have caused us our greatest pain. This is the story of why the human need for alliance is nearly unbreakable. To understand this seemingly illogical phenomenon, we must first analyze the immediate aftermath of the divorce itself. It is a period of profound system shock. The alliance has collapsed. The two-person unit, which formed the core of one's logistical, financial, and emotional world, has been dissolved. The individual is now operating as a sovereign entity, but one that has just been through a brutal war. The initial phase is often one of liberation, a divorce glow-up. It is a period of radical self-reconstruction, a reclaiming of lost identity. The liberated energy that was once consumed by a failing system is now redeployed into one's career, health, and personal growth. The individual proves to themselves and to the world that they can survive alone. They fortify their own borders, build their own internal economy, and learn to thrive as a nation of one. This period is critical. It is the necessary quarantine, the reconstruction of the self from the ground up. And for a time, it feels like the final, victorious state. But this is where everything takes a turn. After the initial surge of independence, a new, quieter reality begins to set in. The human brain is not designed for long-term sovereignty in isolation. For hundreds of thousands of years, our survival has depended not on our individual strength, but on our ability to form and maintain powerful, reliable alliances. Partnership is not a modern social construct. It is a deeply ingrained survival protocol, written into our very DNA. Our nervous systems are quite literally designed to co-regulate with another trusted human being. When we are in a secure partnership, our heart rates, our breathing, our hormonal levels all begin to synchronize. This is a state known as biosynchronicity. It is a state of profound efficiency, where the presence of a trusted ally reduces our own physiological stress load. It allows our bodies to exit a state of constant, low-grade alert. It frees up resources. After a divorce, even a necessary one, the body loses this co-regulator. And what happened next in psychological studies shocked even the experts. Researchers found that long-term single individuals, particularly after a divorce, often exhibit physiological markers similar to those of people in a state of chronic, low-level stress. Their nervous systems are working harder. They are perpetually on watch. The silence in the house is not just an emotional reality. It is a biological one. The system is operating without a key component. And this biological reality is the first powerful, invisible force that begins to pull the individual back towards the concept of a new alliance. But the real question is this just about biology? Or is there something deeper, something more strategic at play? Here's where things get even more intense. We must analyze the second force, which is the principle of learned expertise. The first marriage, even if it ended in failure, was not a waste. It was a high-stakes, multi-year field exercise. It was a masterclass in what an individual needs, what they can tolerate, and what their absolute non-negotiables are. A person emerging from a divorce is not the same person who entered their first marriage. They are a seasoned veteran. They now possess a level of emotional and logistical intelligence that is almost impossible to acquire in any other way. They understand the complexities of shared finances. They know their own communication failures. They have a crystal-clear, data-driven understanding of the red flags they once ignored. They are, in effect, a highly trained intelligence agent, now equipped with a near-perfect blueprint of what to look for and what to avoid in a potential new ally. This is not about being damaged goods. It is the exact opposite. This is about being battle-hardened. The naivete is gone, replaced by a ruthless, pragmatic clarity. This newfound expertise makes the prospect of a new alliance far less intimidating. The veteran does not fear returning to the battlefield, because this time, they know the terrain. They are not just hoping for a better outcome. They have a strategic plan to achieve one. This is the point where the story becomes unbelievable. The third force is a profound psychological recalibration that redefines the very mission of a relationship. The first marriage is often built on a foundation of romantic idealism. It is a pursuit of a cultural script, the perfect wedding, the house, the family. It is a story we are told to want. But the divorce shatters that script. It forces the individual to write a new one, based not on external expectations, 100 movies and fairy tales, but on their own, hard-won truth. The mission for the second marriage is fundamentally different. It is no longer about fulfilling a romantic fantasy. It is about forming a strategic partnership. The selection criteria change. The focus shifts from fleeting chemistry and romantic gestures to core values, shared life goals, and emotional stability. The question is no longer, does this person make my heart race? It is this person a reliable, trustworthy ally with whom I can build a secure and peaceful empire? This is a shift from a romantic model to a partnership model. And this new mission is far more robust, far more resilient to the inevitable challenges of life. The individual is not looking for a fairy tale. They are looking for a co-commander. This leads us to the climax. The final, irresistible force that drives the statistic. When you combine these three forces, the biological imperative for co-regulation, the strategic advantage of learned expertise, and the psychological clarity of a new mission, you create a powerful, gravitational pull back towards a new alliance. But the ultimate reason that 86% of people remarry is the synthesis of all of these factors into one undeniable truth. A good partnership is the single greatest force multiplier a human being can have. Life as a solo operator is possible. It can even be powerful. But a strategic alliance with the right partner creates a system that is exponentially more effective, more resilient, and more efficient. It is two sovereign nations forming a superpower. The division of labor, the mutual emotional support, the shared financial resources. It is a strategic advantage so profound that once you have experienced it in a healthy form, living without it feels like a deliberate choice to operate at a lower capacity. The trauma of divorce doesn't destroy the belief in the institution of marriage. For the majority of people, it refines it. It burns away the romantic naivete and reveals the raw, strategic truth at its core. The desire to remarry is not a sign of forgetting the past. It is a sign of having learned from it. It is the veteran soldier, wiser and more skilled, choosing to re-enlist, not out of blind patriotism, but out of a deep, strategic understanding that the mission is still worth fighting for. They are not trying to recreate their first marriage. They are trying to build the one they should have had all along. And the truth is, this story isn't finished yet. Because for the millions who choose to form a new alliance, the real operation is just beginning. The day-to-day, moment-to-moment work of maintaining a partnership built not on fantasy, but on the hard-won wisdom of a survivor.